You ever notice how broke doesn't just live in your wallet? It lives in your head. You wake up every morning with the same thoughts you had 5 years ago. Same worries, same small plans, same quiet agreement with a life that never really excites you. And you call it normal. You call it realistic. You tell yourself, this is just how things are. But deep down, you feel it. That tightness in your chest when you see someone your age living a life you secretly want. That anger you swallow when money becomes the reason you say no. Again, that voice you silence at night that whispers, you were meant for more than this. You don't like hearing this, but listen. You're not poor because you don't work hard. You're poor because of how you think when no one is watching. Your days look busy, exhausting, even. You wake up tired. You go to sleep tired. You move all day, but nothing really moves forward. And you think effort alone should be enough. You think suffering earns rewards automatically. It doesn't. You scroll. You distract yourself. You numb the discomfort with noise, short videos, small pleasures, little treats that keep you calm enough to survive, but never angry enough to change. You tell yourself you'll focus tomorrow, when things slow down, when life gives you a break. Life never gives breaks. It only gives mirrors, and every day, that mirror shows you the same pattern. You avoid decisions that scare you. You delay the moves that could change everything. You stay loyal to habits that feel safe, even though they're killing your future quietly. Comfort feels innocent. It feels deserved. You worked hard today. You earned rest. You earned ease. But comfort is expensive. It charges interest daily. While you're comfortable, time is ruthless. It doesn't care about your intentions. It doesn't care about your potential. It only records what you did or didn't do. And the truth is, most people don't lose their dreams dramatically. They lose them slowly. They lose them in routines that never challenge them, in thoughts that sound reasonable but keep them small, in conversations where they laugh about being broke instead of feeling the danger of it. You don't feel poor right away. You feel safe, and that's the trap. You start designing your life around avoiding pain instead of chasing growth. You choose what feels easy over what feels necessary. You choose short-term relief over long-term power. And then you blame the world, the economy, your background, your family, your country, your luck. But look closer. Two people can be in the same place with the same resources and end up in completely different lives. The difference isn't talent, it's thinking. One mind looks at discomfort and sees danger. The other looks at discomfort and sees a doorway. Your thinking keeps you poor because it's trained to protect you, not elevate you. It's trained to avoid loss, not create gain. It whispers things like, don't risk it, stay realistic, be grateful for what you have. Gratitude without hunger is a cage. You learned to negotiate with your dreams, to water them down until they no longer scare you, until they no longer demand anything uncomfortable. And then you wonder why nothing changes. You wait for clarity before you move. You wait to feel ready. You wait until fear disappears. Fear never disappears. It just changes masters. Right now, fear controls you. Fear of failing. Fear of being judged. Fear of trying and still ending up with nothing. So you choose the familiar pain over the unfamiliar one. At least this pain you understand. At least this struggle has rules. But here's what no one tells you. The cost of staying the same is heavier than the cost of changing. You just don't feel it all at once. It hits you in moments. When you check your bank account and feel your stomach drop. When someone asks about your plans and you give a vague answer. When you realize years have passed and you're still talking about someday. Someday is a lie your thinking loves. Because someday asks nothing from you today. Your mind keeps you poor by convincing you that time is abundant, that you can afford to wait, that you'll figure it out later. Later is expensive. Later takes interest. Later steals energy, confidence, and courage. Look at yourself honestly. How many opportunities did you overthink until they disappeared? How many ideas did you kill because they weren't perfect? How many nights did you promise change, only to wake up and choose the same day again? That's not laziness. That's conditioning. You were taught to seek approval before action, to follow paths that look safe on paper, to measure yourself by standards that were designed for average lives. And average thinking produces average results. Your mind learned to stay small because small felt safer growing up. Asking for less meant disappointing fewer people. Blending in meant surviving. But survival thinking in an adult world creates poverty. Not just financial poverty, mental poverty, emotional poverty, spiritual poverty. You start believing money is hard, success is rare, rich people are lucky or corrupt. You build stories that protect your ego while robbing your future. Because if success is impossible, then your inaction feels justified. But be honest, you don't actually believe it's impossible. You just don't believe you can have it. That's the wound. That's the real enemy. You don't think like someone who expects more from life. You think like someone hoping not to lose what little they have. So you play defense. Always defense. You react instead of creating. You consume instead of building. You complain instead of confronting the one thing that scares you most, your own potential. Because if you fully accepted what you're capable of, there would be no excuse left. No one to blame, just responsibility. And responsibility is heavy when you've been avoiding it for years. But listen carefully. Time is not waiting for your confidence to catch up. Your life is moving whether you participate or not. Days are stacking. Years are forming patterns. And those patterns become your future. You don't wake up one day poor. You wake up one day realizing you never changed the thinking that kept you there. That's the quiet tragedy. Not failure. Wasted capacity. You can feel it, can't you? That pressure building. That frustration you joke about but feel deeply. That sense that you're living below your standard, below your capability, below what you know you could be. That discomfort is not your enemy. It's your alarm. It's the part of you that refuses to die quietly. But every time you ignore it, it gets quieter. Every time you choose distraction over discipline, it weakens. Until one day, you wake up numb. And numbness is the most expensive state a human can live in. Because numb people don't fight. They settle. They accept. They cope. And coping is the enemy of greatness. Your thinking keeps you poor when it prioritizes comfort over truth. When it avoids hard questions. When it seeks validation instead of results. when it waits for permission to become dangerous. No one is coming to save you. No moment will magically arrive where it all feels easy. The awakening doesn't come with fireworks. It comes with a decision made in silence. A moment where you stop negotiating with your weaker self. Where you stop romanticizing struggle and start respecting results. Where you understand that your thoughts are not harmless. They are orders. Every thought you repeat is a command. Every belief you keep is a direction. Every excuse you accept is a future you agree to. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. You start hearing your own mind differently. You notice how often it tries to pull you back to safety. How often it talks you out of effort. How often it lies to keep things familiar. That's when the pressure becomes fuel. Because you realize the pain you've been avoiding is nothing compared to the pain of staying the same. You stop asking for motivation. You move because not moving feels unbearable. You stop waiting to feel ready. You act because time is bleeding. You stop trying to think your way into a better life. You think differently because you chose to live one. And it won't be pretty. Growth never is, but it will be honest. And honesty builds power. Your thinking kept you poor because it was never challenged. Because you never demanded more from it. Because you let fear speak louder than truth. That ends when you decide it ends. Not tomorrow, not soon, now. Because the moment you change the way you think, comfort loses its grip, and poverty, mental, emotional, financial, starts to panic. Stand up. Your life is waiting for a version of you that no longer negotiates with fear.